So I don't know about you, but when I'm experiencing brain fog, I get super frustrated. Um, you're trying to think, the words won't come. And it can just be really frustrating because we need to think. We're busy women. We've got stuff we need to get done. And then sometimes I just try to think even harder so that I can, get whatever done that I'm trying to get done. But it almost always backfires. So that's why I've designed this practice. Hello, my name is Crystal, by the way. And this practice is designed to help us get out of our heads and get into our bodies. So if you watched the chat that I posted about brain fog, I mentioned 3 Chinese meridians in that video. So I talked about the spleen meridian, the liver meridian, and the heart meridian. And while this is not a yin practice, we will be incorporating some of those poses into today's practice. And it will be gentle. We're going to take it nice and slow. If there's any pose that you're just not feeling it, girl, don't do it. There is no requirement that you have to do any of these poses. Just do what feels good in your body. If something doesn't feel good, come out of the pose. And yeah, so the last thing I'd like to mention is props. I absolutely love having props in my practice. My favorite things to have are blocks. I like to have a bolster or a pillow, and I like to have a blanket for my knees. If you don't have any of these things, it's not a big deal. If you want to pause the video and go grab a few things, I'm cool with that. And we'll meet you back on the mat so we can begin practice here in a moment. So if you do have a blanket, you can go ahead and put it down. I have one here on my mat, like I said, for my knees. And we're just gonna come to an easy seat on our mat. So cross-legged position, sit up nice and tall, settling in, shoulders over your hips, and rest your hands down on your knees. And let's close down the eyes and just arrive. And bring your attention to your breath. And then let's take a few rounds of breath together. So exhale all the air out of your lungs. And take a big breath in through your nose, fill up. Exhale through the mouth, side out. Again, big breath in through the nose, fill up. Exhale, side out, let it go. And then one more time, big breath in through the nose. Take in another little sip of air at the top. Exhale, let all of that go. Feel your body soften on the exhale. Nice. And if you did close your eyes, gently open them. We're going to make our way to child's pose. So come to your knees. Again, I like to have a blanket underneath my knees. And so we're going to bring our knees about the width of our mat and then bring our big toes together. Then bring your arms out in front of you and begin to send the hips towards the heels as you reach your arms out in front of you. And then you can bring your forehead down to the ground. This is also a great time to grab a block, and you can rest your forehead right here on the block, on a pillow, on a bolster, whatever you have available. And just breathe. So having our arms over our head, we're already tapping into that heart meridian, just creating a little more space to breathe. And while we're here, If your forehead is on the mat or on a block, maybe gently rock the head side to side. And we're giving our third eye just a little bit of a massage. Our third eye can help with our decision making, mental clarity, our intuition. So we're just waking this space up. Good. And if you are on a block, gently push the block away. And then I would like for you to walk your left fingertips to the edge of the mat. And then bring your right fingertips up on top as we invite this little side body stretch so the head can rest in between the arms. Keep breathing. And on your next exhale, come back through center. Kind of reset. And then bring your right fingertips to the edge of the mat. Bring your left hand over top. Head comes down in between the elbows. It doesn't have to rest on the ground. You can. That feels okay. Just inviting this nice little side body stretch along the left side of the body. And then making your way back to center. Bring your hands up underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up to tabletop. Bring your knees back in line underneath your hips. Now we're going to do a few cat-cows. So you can leave the toes untucked or tuck them. Completely your choice. I like to tuck mine. And then as we inhale, we're going to send the hips up and then pull our chest through our arms. Gaze up for cow. And then as we exhale, pull your belly button to your spine and bring your chin to your chest. Cat. Inhale, cow, dipping the belly down. Maybe gazing straight ahead, pull those shoulders back. Exhale, cat. Tucking the chin. Really press into your hands. And then move through a few of these at your own pace. So inviting this gentle movement. The liver meridian really loves movement to get rid of some of that stagnant energy. So add any extra movements that you want here. Continue to breathe. And move through a couple more of these on your own. And then find your way back to center. Now we're going to move into some hip circles. So send your hips to the right and then back. I really like to close my eyes during this so you can focus on the body. Just notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Nothing is wrong, the wrong way to feel it or the right way. Just notice those tight areas. My right side tends to be a lot tighter than the left. And hang out in any areas that need a little extra love. Again, inviting this gentle movement in. Switch directions if you like. Gently waking up the hips. And if this is too much for your wrist, you can always come to make a fist with your hands. Good. Keep moving here. And then come back to tabletop. Okay. Next up, we're going to do like a low half moon. So bring your right hand in front of your face. And then send your right knee at a 45-degree angle, okay? And then slide that right hand in a little bit. Now, send your left leg out long. and then peel that left arm up to the sky. So you might notice you're a little wiggly here. You can tuck the back toes. You're going to ground in through that bottom foot. And so we're reaching up, we're opening up through our heart space. Again, stretching through that heart meridian. Inviting a little more joy and openness into our day. Now that back foot's down on the ground. If you wanna, don't have to, you can lift that back foot up. You can start with your hand on your hip to help find a little balance. Then if you feel good with that, you can send that arm up to the sky. So this is like a kneeling half moon. Remember, always options here. You could even leave your hand on your hip, depending on your day, depending on where you're at in your practice. Now here's one more step you can take. Bend into that top leg and then grab your foot, if you can reach your foot. And now kick into your hand, open up through your heart. So now we're getting this stretch through our quad. We're really opening up through our heart space. Woo! And I get wiggly. So if your balance is off, you can look down towards the ground, right? That helps us with our balance. If you want to challenge your balance, maybe look up to the sky. Good. Now bring that foot down and then sending that arm back up to the sky. Good. And then we are going to come down, just bring our knees down and come to facing center, and we're gonna just switch it out. So no fancy way to get there. So bring your left hand down to the ground and then send your right foot out long. All right, so that back knee, just find a place that feels good. This side might feel different for you. Hands on your hip. Get used to this, and then maybe send that right arm up to the sky. If you like, you can gaze up towards that right arm. Or you can look down at your hand if you're feeling a little wobbly. Now we're gonna lift our back leg. So lifting that back leg straight out, flex the foot. Arm can go up, kneeling half moon. I'm sweating a little bit, are you? Now grab the top of your foot, kick into your hand so that you open up. You can gaze up or down. Don't forget to breathe. Good. And then come on down, back through center, and then we are gonna find a seat. So we're gonna move into a wide leg forward fold. So send your legs out long. If you have props, great time to grab one. Pillows, blocks, bolster. I'm gonna use blocks, and if you don't have any props, it's completely fine. You don't need them. So send your legs out long. And if you haven't watched the chat yet, or if you need a little gentle reminder, the meridians that we're focusing on are both the liver and the spleen, in addition to the heart. But those meridians run right along the inside of our legs. And so by doing this wide leg forward fold, we can focus on releasing and clearing our minds and relieving a little frustration. So sit up nice and tall, find your prop, and then we're gonna start by just walking our hands forward, okay? So walk your hands forward and then drop the head down. And so as we progress in this pose, you might find that you can go a little bit further, but take it easy, don't force yourself. And if you have props or blocks, I like to make myself a little table for my head. So I'll take 2 blocks and set them somewhere where it feels good. Rest that third eye on there. Oh, Lord. I can already feel everything releasing. So let go here. It's not about how far you can fold forward. I don't give two shits about that. It's about feeling this stretch along the inner thighs. So wherever that is for you is exactly the right place. I think sometimes we get so caught up in how a pose looks versus how does it feel. How does it feel? Dang, D'Angelo. And then maybe if you like, just keep breathing in here. You can start to kind of take, disassemble your props and see if maybe you can go a little bit further. Again, you don't have to. So as we're here, we're gonna hold this for a little bit longer because it's a super important pose. And I'm going to remind you that the spleen meridian is all about overthinking, worry, rumination. And then the liver meridian also here is about feeling stuck, frustration, irritability. So we're letting all that go, ladies. We don't need that shit. So I'm going to read some mantras, and if you'd like to repeat them out loud or silently to yourself, go for it as you breathe and let go. So here we go. I allow my body to release. I don't have to figure everything out today. It is safe to let go. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, allow your body to soften. We'll be here for about 3 more breaths. And then at the end of your 3rd breath, bring your hands back underneath you. Press your props away. And then you can press yourself up. All right. And then lean back a little bit. Bring in your feet so that the soles of your feet touch. So this is like a butterfly pose. And grab here on your ankles, and we're gonna flutter our wings here. I remember back in the 80s, Mama used to do this like all the time. She's like, I gotta do my butterflies, I gotta do 100 of them. But I feel like it's good because, again, liver meridian is all through here, and we're inviting that gentle movement. And it's kind of fun, I think. So just some gentle pulses of the knees. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. And then find some stillness if you want. And you could also always have blocks under the knees. Girl, get you some blocks. They're like $8 on Amazon. And I like the foam ones. So get those blocks under your knees. Rest your hands wherever feels good. We're gonna move into some neck circles. So just bring your chin to your chest. Sorry, I started without you. And then right ear, right shoulder. Close the eyes if that feels good. Drop the head back. Left ear, left shoulder. Chin to chest, and then find some circles here. So, woo, I carry the stress in my neck. What about you? On my shoulders. When I can't think straight, it gets even worse. So let's invite our bodies to soften here through our necks. Give our neck a little love. Switch directions if you want to. All right. Nice. And then coming back to center. Okay, set your blocks aside and we're gonna come back into child's pose just for a moment to reset, because who doesn't like a good child's pose? So find your way to your knees, send your knees out wide, or you can leave them close together if you like that version of child's pose better. Big toes together, send the hips back, forehead to mat. And I would just like you to take a second and notice how this child's pose feels different from the one we did at the beginning of class. If things are starting to shift for you. If they're not, no big deal. Good. And then raise yourself up. Knees come back underneath. And we are going to move into our first downward facing dog of class. All right, so we're going to take it nice and slow. If you don't want to do downward facing dog, you can stay in tabletop. But let's tuck the toes. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. I want your fingers really, really wide. So like, what's that, jazz hands? Jazz hands, really, really wide fingers. So you can almost grip the mat with your fingers, right? Okay, tuck the toes and then send the hips up to the sky. And then find a little movement. So we're not going to worry about what our down dog looks like right now. We're just going to find some movement. So bend into one leg and then the other. You can drop the heels side to side. That is my favorite. And then now let's find our down dog. So I'd like for you to bend your knees a whole lot here. And stick your booty up in the sky. So you're trying to get that butt as high as you can. And notice that your head comes in between your elbows when you do that. Okay, now gradually let the heels down. Keep that bend in your knees. So think about if somebody's pulling your head and your tailbone and creating all this space between all the vertebrae in your back vertebra. Right? Good. So keep breathing here. So again, finding some stillness in your downward facing dog. And we're actually going to crawl our way to the back of our mats. So start to bring your hands back, and if you've got I was going to call it a rug. If you've got a blanket there, you can move it out of the way. And so we're standing here at the back of our mat. Feet are hip width distance. Generous bend in the knees. Let the arms dangle. Maybe grab for opposite elbows. Sway. This is a great release for the lower back. All right, and then we're gonna make our way up. So let the arms hang, and then we're gonna roll it up nice and slow. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, so here we are. We are going to move into a little short standing series. So step the feet together, and then with your right foot, take a big step out, okay? Now your toes are facing the top of the mat. Your front toes, your back toes are at a 45-degree angle. Hands on your hips for now. And then lunge into that front leg. Just kind of finding a little movement here. Good. Now stay in that lunge. Okay. Now send your front arm out, gazing over those fingertips. Now turn your head and send your back arm out. So straight out, we're making a T with our hands, gazing over those back fingertips. Now turn your head, gaze forward again, lunge a little bit deeper. This is Warrior 2, my friends, welcome. Breathe here. So think about also really pressing through that back leg so you can tuck the pelvis underneath the body. Good. Now from here, bring your back hand to your hip. This arm is still reaching out in front. Now reach, 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 and then bring your elbow to your knee. I have to adjust my back foot a little bit. So lunge into your front leg and then send that top arm up to the sky. So we're not dumping here. Whew. So we're lifting up. So maybe try to hover your elbow a little bit or just a little light pressure on that knee. Good. This is extended side angle. Lunge it a little bit deeper. Oh my God, all the things. Now bring your back hand to your hip, straighten your front leg. Send that front arm palm facing up to the sky and say hello to your chandelier. Mine in this case. Good. And then let's come back. So come back to your warrior two. Hands to your hips, straighten your front leg. Turn all of your toes to face me. Now we're going to do a standing wide leg forward fold. So let's do that. Send your arms out to a T. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold forward. You can even bring your hands to your hips. I like to use a block here, friends. So grab a block. Place it where you think your head might go. You might need two. And then as you fold forward, maybe your head rests on that block. I need more than one. I like my little table here. And breathe. So this is the same as that seated wide leg forward fold, except we're standing now. And I'm actually going to send my blocks out a little forward because try to think about your hips being on top of your heels. So maybe your booty is way back here or maybe it's way forward. See if you can get your booty like right over your heels. And then as always, you can take away support as you feel like your fold gets a little deeper. I want the where your hairline is. So where your forehead meets your hair, touching your prop if you have one. If you don't have one, you can just dangle your head, or maybe you want to do that anyways. And then to come out, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Maybe scooch the feet in a little bit. Bend the knees. Come on up. Now, we're going to do warrior two on the other side. So your back foot turns at a 45-degree angle. Hands on your hips. Left foot is facing now the back of your back. Lunge into that front leg. So we're just getting used to how it feels in our body. Feeling that stretch along the inner thigh there. Now, let's send our front arm out, gazing over those fingertips. And the back arm, gazing over the back fingertips. Soften those shoulders down. They're not up here. And then let's gaze to the front again, lunge deep. Good, moving into reverse warrior. Flip your front palm, bam. Back hand comes to your back hip. And then, oh wait, we're gonna do extended side angle. I'm wrong. Turn your palm down. Now reach, reach, reach with your front arm. And then we're gonna rest our elbow on our knee. Raise that back arm up. Again, if balance is wonky, look down. That's a good little tip. You can look up. But we're not dumping here. Like, see how all of this is collapsing? So opening up through the side body. Also a great option to have a block here. Love using a block in extended side angle. Okay, now we're gonna move into our reverse warrior. So bring your hand to your hip, straighten your front leg. That front arm, now the palm faces up. Send it up overhead, and that back arm can kind of dangle down on your back leg, or you can bring it behind your back. Opening up through our side body. Good. And now come back to your warrior two. And then we're going to come back for another wide leg forward fold. So fold on down. This time I'm going to give you another option. So you can grab first of all, you can find movement. If you're craving movement and that liver's wanting to move, girl, move it. Or you can grab the sides of your feet and kind of pull your head down. Just kind of taking a different approach here. You can also use your peace fingers and grab your big toe and then pull your elbows out and fold forward. So just going maybe a little deeper this time. Good. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Bend those knees. Come on up to standing. Grab a block if you've got it. We're going to do a thing here. All right. So coming back into that warrior two stance. All right. Now, if you have a block, go ahead and take it in your hand. This is the way I like to practice this. We're going to do standing half moon, but we're going to take it nice and slow, and it is going to test your balance and your focus. So let's bend into our front leg like we're going to go into that warrior two, and then place our hand on our block. If you have a block, hand comes on your back hip. Now we're going to play with balance. So maybe just shifting the weight into that front leg, just some little hops here. Okay? And then you're going to have to figure out where this right hand wants to be. I like it kind of further out. Lunge into that front leg and then lift your back leg up. Woo, lots of balance. It's okay if you fall. That doesn't matter. Lift your leg up. So the front leg comes, you're not lunging, it's straight. So you're kind of making this big capital letter L. And I can't focus and talk at the same time. So looking down really helps. Hand on the hip, or you can send it up to the sky. You can say, forget all this, Crystal, and you can just sit in warrior two. This is half moon. Woo! And then drop that leg down. And then let's come up to stand. Bring the feet together. Whew, let's just shake it out. Okay, I'm sweating. But we are gonna move to the other side. So block in your hand. And then take a big step out with your left foot. And then right foot, you're kinda in this warrior two stance. And then we're going to bring that left hand on down to the mat. So now you know where we're going. And then you can play with kind of hopping that back foot up. Okay? And when and if you feel ready, this is when I bring the block further away from me. I launch forward, send that left foot up to the sky, gazing down at your hand. Maybe send your top arm up. Half moon. So keep pressing into your standing leg, lifting up your, I'm cheating, he's in the couch. That back leg, flexing the toes. Woo! Good. And then bring both feet together. So now we're facing the back of our mat. We are done with that, friends. Let's come down to our knees. Woo. Oh my goodness, let's find child's pose. How about it? So now we're facing the back of our mat. Breathe here. Let all that go. Good. And now I'm down for a little more relaxing. What about you? So come back up to tabletop only to plop on down to your belly. Come down to your stomach. Bring your arms overhead, elbows out. And girl, we're gonna do one of my favorite poses. This is half frog. Slide that right knee up, left leg is long. And then bring your head down to rest on your hands or on the mat. Let it all go. Again, inviting a gentle stretch into our inner thigh here, liver and spleen, super activated. Feel the earth supporting you. And then we're going to switch directions. So send that right leg long. Slide that left knee on up. Adjust your hips as needed. Breathe here. Letting go, feeling the earth supporting you. And then let's transition to our next posture. So slide your knee back, bring your arms underneath your shoulders, press yourself up, walk your knees in, and then we're coming on down to our back. So grab your blocks. We might be using them here in a minute. They're nearby. Also have your bolster and blanket nearby. We're getting towards the end, which means we're going to have a juicy stretch. But first, let's do a little side twist. So come on down to your back. Send your arms out to a T. And then bring your knees up to your chest, towards your chest. And then drop them to the right. And then your right hand can rest on your knees. Left shoulder, you're guiding it down. It's okay if it doesn't touch the earth, but it's kind of a visual. And you can gaze to the left. Nice, easy twist here. We're not holding the knees up. They can also rest on a block. Let's switch it out. Bring the knees through center. Shift the hips over. Right arm comes out. Knees come towards the left. Letting go. Good, and then bring your knees up to center. And then we're gonna press ourselves up to get ready for our final pose. So I'm gonna use all of the props. If you don't have them, again, it's no big deal. You can use what you have or just use the ground. You can still do this pose. But I'm gonna grab my bolster here if you have one, or a pillow. Big old couch pillow works good. Put it right behind you. Scoot your booty up towards it. And then we're gonna bring those soles of the feet together. No butterflies this time, but bring the blocks underneath your knees. And then we are gonna lay on back. So just coming to your back. And relaxing on that pillow or bolster. And then your arms, I really like to scooch the shoulder blades underneath the body. You could just be laying on the ground here. That's fine. This is gonna be our final resting posture. Opening up through that heart so we can receive all that love, all that joy. Come back to your breath. And just let go. Soften your body, soften your breath. I invite you to stay here for as long as you need. Take what you need. And it has been my honor to be here with you, sharing this practice with you. And I wish you the best in your day, evening, afternoon, wherever this practice finds you. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.